Long ago, there lived a prophet named Jonah. One day, God gave him a very important mission.
Go to the great city of Nineveh and warn the people, because their wickedness has come before me.
Nineveh was a powerful city, and its people had done many evil things. Jonah did not want to go there, and deep in his heart, Jonah did not want God to show them mercy. So instead of obeying God, Jonah turned around and ran away. Jonah went down to the port city of Joppa. There, he found a ship sailing far away to Tarshish. Tarshish was in the opposite direction from Nineveh. Jonah thought,
if I go far enough, maybe I can escape this mission.
So he paid the fare, stepped onto the ship, and sailed away. But Jonah forgot something very important. No one can run away from God. Not on land, not across the sea, not even in the deepest place of the earth. God still saw Jonah. God still loved Jonah. And God still had a plan. As the ship sailed across the sea, the sky began to change. Dark clouds gathered. The wind grew stronger. The waves rose higher and higher. Then suddenly, a terrible storm crashed upon the ship. The sailors were terrified. They pulled the ropes. They threw cargo into the sea. They shouted for help.
What's going on?
The ship creaked and groaned as the waves slammed against it.
What that is?
But where was
No,
Jonah?
Please, don't leave.
Jonah was
Stay.
below the deck, sleeping. Even while the storm raged outside, Jonah was hiding from the truth inside. The captain found Jonah and cried out.
How can you sleep? Get up and call on your God!
Jonah stood before the frightened sailors. His clothes were soaked with rain. Jonah told them the truth.
I worship the Lord, the God of heaven, who made the sea and the dry land. I was running away from God, which caused this storm. Pick me up and throw me into the sea. Then the storm will become
I am the
calm.
reason for this storm.
The sailors became even more afraid. But the sailors did not want to do it.
Can't.
But the storm only
We must
grew
do
worse.
this for the storm.
They lifted Jonah and threw
Forgive
him
us,
into
Jonah.
the sea. The moment Jonah fell into the water, the storm stopped. The sea became calm. The sailors stood in silence and wonder. They realized that the Lord was truly powerful. But Jonah sank down into the deep sea. The water surrounded him. The light faded above him. Jonah thought his life was over. But God had not abandoned Jonah. The Lord sent a great fish to swallow him. This was not the end of Jonah's story. It was God's rescue. For 3 days and 3 nights, Jonah was inside the belly of the great fish. There, in the dark and lonely place,
I cried
Jonah
out to you
prayed.
from the belly of the
Inside the
fish, and you
belly
heard
of
my
the
voice.
great fish,
Forgive me
Jonah
and deliver
remembered
me from
God.
this darkness.
From the depths of the sea, he cried out to the Lord and repented for running away from
I
him.
will look again
God heard Jonah's prayer.
towards
Jonah
your holy
thanked God
temple.
and promised to obey him. Then, God commanded the great fish to
bless
spit
you,
Jonah
great
out onto
fish.
dry land.
I didn't think
God
I'd
was
see
giving
daylight
Jonah
again.
a second chance. Then the word of the Lord came to Jonah a second time.
Go to the great city of Nineveh and proclaim the message I give you.
This time, Jonah obeyed. He walked toward Nineveh. The city was huge. Its walls
40
were
days
tall.
more and
Its
Nineveh shall
streets
be
were
destroyed.
crowded with people.
Repent now.
Jonah
and
entered the
turn
city
from your
and
evil
began to
ways.
preach.
In 40 days, Nineveh will be overturned!
Shall be overthrown.
The people of Nineveh stopped what they were doing. Rich and poor, young and old, everyone humbled themselves. Even the king heard Jonah's message. He stepped down from his throne, removed his royal robe, and sat in humility. The king commanded the whole city to turn away from evil and cry out to God. The people repented. They changed their hearts. They asked God for mercy. And when God saw that they turned from their evil ways, he had compassion on them. God did not destroy Nineveh. He showed them mercy. But Jonah was not happy. Instead of rejoicing, Jonah became angry. He said to God, "I knew you are gracious and compassionate. I knew you were slow to anger and full of love." Jonah had received mercy from God, but he did not want Nineveh to receive mercy too. So Jonah went outside the city and sat on a hill. He waited to see what would happen. The sun was hot. The desert was dry.
I don't understand. They deserve
Jonah built a
judgment.
small shelter and sat in its shade.
Your mercy feels so unfair.
Then God caused a leafy
Jonah
plant
still
to
needed
grow
to
over
learn
Jonah.
God's mercy.
The plant gave him
God
shade
made a leafy
and comfort.
plant grow to shade him from
Jonah
the
was
sun.
very happy about the plant.
Jonah smiled with relief and comfort.
But the next day, God allowed the plant to wither. The sun beat down on Jonah's head. A hot wind blew across the desert. Jonah became upset again. Then God spoke to Jonah.
I care for this plant, yet I
Are you right to be angry about the plant?
Jonah cared deeply about a plant that he did not create and did not grow. But God cared about the people of Nineveh. There were many people in that city who needed mercy. There were children, families, and people who did not know the right way to live. God was teaching Jonah an important lesson. God's mercy is bigger than our anger.
Lord, why show
God's
them
love is
mercy?
greater
They
than our
don't
judgment.
deserve it. But
And
now
God
I
cares for
see
people
your
we may not
mercy is
understand.
greater than my anger. I understand now.
Jonah looked toward
Your
Nineveh.
mercy is for all.
The city glowed in the sunset light. Birds flew across the sky. And Jonah began to understand. The Lord had shown mercy to him. And the Lord had shown mercy to Nineveh, because God is compassionate. Jonah ran away. But God did not give up on Jonah. And God will not give up on us. God's mercy is bigger than our mistakes, and His love is for all people.